Welcome into Bills Tonight Digital, presented by ECMC. Maddie Glab here with Fred Jackson, and the Bills fall to 6-3 on the season with a 19-16 loss to the Cleveland Browns today. And Fred, what do you chalk this one up to?
Well, I think they just didn't make enough plays today. It looked like the offense really never got into a rhythm. Defense did everything that they could to try and keep them in it, creating some points and getting safeties and things like that. But I felt like the offense just didn't get it going today like they are capable of doing anyway.
Yeah, Josh was 22 of 41. It seemed like a couple missed opportunities there for the offense when you could have extended drives, possibly gotten towards the red zone. They just couldn't do it today. And what do you chalk some of those missed opportunities up to?
Well, some of them, the overthrown balls, the third down conversions, they didn't convert on third down like they would want to, I'm sure, as a unit, and things like that. When you start adding all that stuff up. And also, you got to give Cleveland credit. They're a better team than, their record indicates. A lot of people thought that they would be a lot better than what they have been so far this year. So at the same time, you got to give those guys credit. They made some plays when they had to.
Yeah, Cleveland is now 3-6 on the season. This Bills defense did everything they could, but it just didn't work out in their favor today. Let's send it over to Coach McDermott, who's on the podium with his thoughts after today's loss.
Okay, we'll open it up to your questions.
How do you get the offense turned back in the right direction? This doesn't seem to be very effective right now.
Yeah, we didn't score enough points today. There were some good things, but overall, too many opportunities that we didn't capitalize on. We had some third and manageables in there throughout the game, and we didn't come away with either the first down or points. And so we had some penalties in there. That also hurt us, I thought, but we've got to score. We have to be a threat to score more points.
Especially excellent red zone X's. You had a couple third and shorts.
Yeah.
Why go? You took some deep shots that didn't seem to be necessary.
Yeah. So we'll go back and evaluate that. So.
Once again, you get run on pretty heavily early. How does that keep happening? Why does it take so long to fix it?
Yeah, well, you know what? They're good. They've got a lot of talent on that team. We've talked about it. They got two good backs, and they moved the ball on us, and then we settled in. I thought. Great goal line stand, but overall, obviously not enough to win the game.
But doesn't it perplex you that it takes you so you have to settle in and get gashed before you fix it?
Yeah, we got to do a better job. Jerry. Starting with me.
It looks like the clock became an issue at the end. You had the one timeout left. What were you thinking then as the clock's moving and you're trying to figure out what you want to do in terms of going forward, or ended up trying the field goal?
Yeah, we were in range of a field goal. We felt like, albeit high field goal range, and we got a lot of confidence in house. So we were in fourth and, I believe it was 4th and 4, 4th and 3.5, 4th and 4 there, and wanted to give us a chance to go to extended time if we could.
You mentioned the goal line stops. Their last drive, again, were you just confident that they were shut them down again there?
On their last drive?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, give them a credit. They made the drive to win the game. They made the plays they needed to make.
Your defense, especially early in the game, you had Trey White on OBJ pretty much the whole game, right? And not
Right.
quite the whole game. Were you satisfied with that aspect? Because they ended up only scoring 19. So were you satisfied with at least that aspect of it? You were, you did a good enough job to keep in it, I guess is the question.
Well, it's at the end of the day we didn't do enough, and we'll look at all three phases, opportunities, and lessons for us to learn, as we say in the locker room. And there's certainly some things that come to mind right now. I don't want to get into them until I watch the tape, to be fair. And but overall, it wasn't enough today to win the game, and that's what we're here to do, is to win the game.
Trey handled himself pretty well though in that matchup for most of
Yeah,
the
looked like it. It did. Looked like it. Odell's a tough matchup, and Trey, I thought, again, without looking at the film, I thought he did some good things out there and battled, and overall they made the plays that they needed to make.
Did you talk to Steven at all, Coach, just about how he felt those swings were, like maybe after the first one, the short one, or is that not a practice that coaches really take? When he missed the short one before the half there,
yeah.
Are there any conversations that typically go on there, or no? You just kind of leave him alone?
Just remain confident, and just letting him know we remain confident in him, and we expect that he'll bounce back.
Thoughts on Josh's day?
Yeah, I thought we moved the ball at times, but again, overall, similar to my statement earlier, just as it relates to scoring points. Really, when you look at it, we've got to score more points. So however we do that, running it, throwing it, we've got to be more of a threat to score points.
For any team, trends develop during the course of the season. That has been one with this offense. How close do you feel you are? How much of a hurdle is that going to be to overcome?
Yeah,
looking down the stretch.
Yeah, you take them 1 week at a time, as you guys hear me talk about a lot, and we'll go back and look at the film and learn from the areas we need to learn from this tape, and continue to try to put our players in position to make plays. And I thought Josh did some really good things in the game, and as did some other people. So some of it was up to our standard, and certainly some of it wasn't, not getting the result being one of them.
Does this help you to tell your team, look, we're not where we need to be? You know, people criticize 6-2, you're not really that good. You tell your team, look, still a bit of a wake-up call.
No, Jerry, I think our guys. They're humble. They work extremely hard. Didn't get the result we wanted today, but we've got to learn from the film and understand why we got the result that we did.
Is Hauschka a concern for you at all moving forward?
I'm confident in Steven. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
This team is definitely going to go back to the film and learn from those mistakes today. And we saw 147 rushing yards out of the Browns today, 116 from Nick Chubb. Now, this has been a problem over the last few weeks. So, Fred, is it the run fits? Is it gap integrity? Is it all of that? Is it getting off the blocks? So why did this team rush for so many yards today?
Well, today I think you look at what Nick was able to do today. He broke a lot of tackles, and he carried a lot of guys, for extra yardage. And that's just a big physical back, being a big physical back. So I think a lot of credit has to go to him for that. The fits were there. They just have to be able to get him down sooner. But it's something that I know they're in the locker room. They're talking about as a defensive unit. It's something they're watching in the film room. And again, coach is hitting on it. They got to go to the film, see what it is that they can do to improve on, and I'm sure that's going to be a point of emphasis for them when they step on when they go in the film room starting tomorrow.
And this offense hasn't averaged too many points per game, and they were beat by 3 points today. So what did you see out of them trying to put those drives together? Again, we talked about it a little bit already, missed opportunities for the offense.
Yeah, and Coach talked about it. Too many 3-and-outs, when it's third and short, not converting, leaving points on the field, and missed field goals and things like that. Those are all things that you can look at in the film room and figure out. He's got all the confidence in House, and he should. House is a great kicker.
Yeah.
It's something that, I'm sure he'll beat himself up, but he, again, has to have a short-term memory and know that you get a chance to redeem yourself next week. So all things that can be fixed and all things that they know can be fixed. So it's not time to hit the panic button by any means. You just go back in, you self-evaluate. You lost to a good team today. Cleveland's 3-6, but they're a good team. They got a lot of talented players on that team, and you got to give those guys at the end of the day, give those guys credit and just realize that we got beat by a team that wanted it, and came out and fought for it hard today.
Yeah, quite a few weapons on that Browns offense as well as defense. Hauschka missed 2 field goals today, something we don't see often from him. He's usually a sure make when he lines up to hit that field goal. Let's hear from Josh Allen, who's at the podium after today's game.
How's it going, everybody?
So, Josh, what's the level of kind of like frustration? I mean, to see only 16 points, in this league, you got to have a lot more, do a lot more scoring, and this offense has had its struggles in that regard. Where are you with that mentally?
Well, I mean, the fact is our defense played extremely well today. They gave us a chance, and everybody knows you got to score more than 16 to win this league, and we didn't do that today. We didn't execute. I got to do a better job finding completions and getting the ball to our guys. When we've got deep shots, I got to take advantage of those and be able to connect on those, and it's something we're going to work on. And obviously we're disappointed with today. We're going to learn from it, but it's the one that kind of hurts because the preparation that we had, and I thought it was good enough, and we had a really good week of practice, and there was opportunities in that game where I got to be better. I got to put our offense in better situations, and I just didn't do that today.
The last third down to Isaiah, kind of a fade. Just what did you see on that play?
The last third down?
Yeah, the incomplete to
John Brown.
I thought it was Isaiah on the right before the field goal. The incomplete.
Yeah, it was John. I saw blitz zero, man to man. He was pressed up. I trusted our guy, and I love John and what he does, and I didn't give him a good enough ball there. That's what it comes down to, and I didn't allow him to make a play on the ball. So, obviously, we thought we were good with 3 there. We obviously wanted to get 7. I think that's kind of the goal of every 2-minute drive at the end, secure the 3 and try to get 7. And, we could have done a better job of, putting the ball in a better position for Hauschka. And like I said, we just didn't do that. There's a lot of, put the blame on me, man. I mean, I didn't play good enough today. I know that.
Did you feel like they played a lot of man?
Yeah, they definitely did. It's nothing that we didn't expect, and I trust our guys, and they made some plays today, and we made some plays when it counted, but not enough.
Third quarter, the 3rd and 3 deep to Beasley. Did you feel like the clock in your head was saying time's running out here?
Yeah, I did, and it really wasn't a try to complete the ball. I was just trying to get out of it and move on to the next one. Play field position there, and that's what we did.
I know you have been working on the deep ball issue. We've talked about that. Can you pinpoint anything specific as to, what you're trying to overcome there and what's keeping you from hitting those?
If I could pinpoint it, I'd probably be hitting them. I'm just not. I don't know if I'm super anxious about underthrowing it and getting an interception, or I don't know. The ball comes out and it feels good, and the ball just kind of sells and carries a little longer than I think. So it's something that I got to continue to work on. Yeah.
Is the ball security thing, there was mentioned in the broadcast that maybe they got it from the production meeting. I'm guessing that Ken Dorsey was working with you like with a stick trying to knock the ball out of your hand in practice to help you with that. And of course, then there was yet another fumble. What is your thought on just that?
I have to do a better job, plain and simple. It's a 3rd down play, and thankfully John was in a good enough position to go and get that, and the hustle that he showed there, and it's a very selfless play from him. But I got to be careful of the retracers and their arms and them trying to hit the ball out, and obviously you can't get that great of practice being a quarterback, and they're swinging a lot harder in the games, and a lot bigger, tougher, stronger dudes. So it's something that I got to continue to learn and grow from, and I got no doubt I will.
On the last drive, it looked like maybe there was a little confusion. You ended up sort of huddling up and trying to get the play. Was there any thought of using the last time out there? Or was that not in the mindset? You were just going to run the play and then use the timeout for the field?
We practice those situations all the time. I don't think we would have handled it any differently. Coach McDermott, puts us in those situations, and like I said, I don't think we've ever done anything different there, and we got to call a play and complete it and execute, and we didn't do it.
You're thinking going out there, they score, but you still have, what, a minute and 20, whatever left. Can you maybe just take us inside the helmet there as you going out there on the field with a chance to win the game?
Well, we knew the line we needed to get to was probably 31 or 32. We didn't get there, but we just wanted to give ourselves a chance. And, our guys made some plays on the ball, and ultimately that last play on 3rd down, I got to do a better job of finding a completion there and allowing us to get up a couple more yards and help Steve out there.
The need for more points, the need for more production from the offense, it's been a common theme we've talked about. Now that you're past the midway point of the season, what's the biggest obstacle you're trying to overcome as a unit? What's holding you back?
Like I said, we got to find ways to complete the ball more. That's on me, taking advantage of the opportunities that we have downfield on me. That's basically what it comes down to. The quarterback gives your team a chance to win today, or in today's league, and I didn't make enough plays for our team. Thank you.
You were just saying Josh Allen looked like a frustrated quarterback there, and from a player's perspective, what is your advice to a guy like Josh right now?
I'll tell him the same thing, man. Just keep fighting. It's a result you just have to live with. You're trying to make plays for your team, and you have to realize that, even on this fumble when they were asking him about that was just a good play by the defender.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't him being careless with the ball. It wasn't him just throwing across the field, running to the sideline. That was a great play by him. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to practice hard as you are. Continue to be a leader for this team. And things will start going better for you. So I know the feeling. It's after a tough loss. You're more worried about that. You're sick to your stomach, but there's still a lot left in the tank for him. So just continue to hold your head up and continue to keep working.
He was asked about zone versus man coverage, seeing a lot of man coverage today, and it looked like the wide receivers were getting a decent amount of separation. It didn't look to affect them that much through 10 weeks of play. Do you think they do better against zone or man when we're talking about the wide receivers and Josh targeting them?
I think they're great against both. But I would love to have those guys being played man to man. I think every receiver out there on the field can beat man to man coverage, and I think Josh would love that opportunity too.
Yeah, I think the only time we've really seen this team struggle against man coverage is against the Patriots, which is a very talented defense, of course.
Yep.
So let's look at the highlights from today's game. Bills and Browns in Cleveland. And the Browns march the opening drive 75 yards. Baker Mayfield finishes with a 17-yard touchdown to Jarvis Landry. They missed the extra point, so it makes it 6-0 Cleveland. But on the Browns' 8th try from the one, Chubb gets stuffed short, and the Bills take over on downs. Josh Allen, quarterback keeper, for the 10-yard touchdown. But the Browns would lead 9-7 at the break. Tremaine Edmonds sacks Baker Mayfield for the safety, and the game is tied at 9 points. What a great play there by Tremaine. The Browns leading 12-9 with 5:26 on the clock. Josh Allen takes it from yard out. There's a touchdown by the Browns, and here's that field goal, 53 yards, and it would be a miss. So 19-16 is your final score. And here is the box score. You're seeing 22 of 41 for Josh Allen, 53%. We're not used to seeing that really. He's been up more than that. Singletary had 42 yards. John Brown, 77 receiving yards. And Levi Wallace, 8 tackles and 1 TFL. And from the defense, we saw them have this great goal line stand, which was awesome. It kept them out of the end zone, kept the Browns out of the end zone on that drive. What can you explain from what you saw from the defense today? And Trey White also did a great job covering Odell Beckham Jr. OBJ was targeted 12 times. He caught 5 catches, so that left a lot of the workload there on Levi Wallace.
Yeah, defense they were a bend but not break defense today. They gave up a lot of yards, but when they got down inside the red zone, the defense definitely stiffened up. I think at one point Cleveland had a drive of 14 plays and a drive of 13 plays, and they only gave up 3 points. So anytime your defense is playing that well, they're going to keep you in games. And Trey White, I know he was looking forward to going against his LSU brothers. He showed up today, and Levi, that meant he was going to get the brunt of the work because they weren't going to target him as much. But those guys, they love that and relish that opportunity, and the defense is just going to continue to play well for these guys. And the offense knows that they're going to have to do that. Josh mentioned it in his press conference. Defense continues to play well. We got to put up more points as an offensive unit.
Yeah, the defense can only save you so many times until it's your turn to start making those plays and get in the end zone and put points on the board. Now, last week against the Redskins, we saw this team take a step forward when it came to third downs and penalties. This game, I think they took a step back again. They were 5 of 13 on third down and had 7 penalties. So these are things that are moving you back and are completely stopping and killing drives.
Yeah, and again, things that can be fixed and things that will have to be fixed if you want to continue to win football games and get into the playoffs and make a run at the Super Bowl. So all things the coach will address, starting after they go in and look at film. And you can't shoot yourself in the foot. When you're playing against talented teams, you cannot shoot yourself in the foot. You have to be able to take advantage of opportunities of being on the field and converting those third downs. The more third downs you convert, the more opportunities you'll have to score points. So they know that, and that's something they'll address.
And I think we thought going into this game, Cleveland's run defense is ranked 30th in the country. They faced the Redskins' run defense last week, who's 27th or 28th. So I'm thinking Devin Singletary is going to get a bulk of these carries. He got 8 carries for 42 yards. Wasn't as impactful, I think, as many fans thought he would have been today. What did you see from the offense when it was opening up the run through the pass, vice versa?
Yeah, they wanted to stay balanced, and that's something that you try and do in the NFL is be a balanced offense. Keep defenses, guessing what it is you're trying to do. And Devin did his part. When he got the carries, he got, I think he averaged 5 yards a carry today. So he did his part when his number was called, and Frank was doing everything he could to try and continue to run the ball as well. So they just didn't convert enough on third down. I think if they convert more on third down, they stay on the field, in some of those third and short situations, this is a different outcome for the Buffalo Bills. So I think that's something that they address, and they know to be able to be a successful offense, we got to convert better on third down.
One of the defensive vets was in the locker room after the game. Let's hear from Lorenzo Alexander.
Had a chance, especially defensively, to get them off the field and wasn't able to execute. They made more plays than us at the end of the game, but it just sucks because we, fought all game, put ourselves in a position to win it, and couldn't execute when we needed to finish it out.
Looking at the run game, it seems like you guys made some adjustments at halftime. What do you guys need to do to play the way you have been when it comes to stopping the run in the second half as opposed to the first half?
I mean, honestly, I wish I could tell you. For whatever reason, we make a mental adjustment in that second half, because it's not like we come in here and make a ton of adjustments schematically. So we have to be able to come out quicker and be able to stop the run. Some of the big plays that we gave up just leads.
Lorenzo was saying he's not exactly sure what they need to do to stop the run in the beginning of the game. And, of course, stopping the run in the beginning of the game would have probably saved them from a score because in the second half of the game they were able to fix it again like they did against the Redskins. So they'll go back to the drawing board. They'll figure it out. And this is a team where now we're seeing things like the run game. That's an issue. Third down, that's an issue. Penalties, that has been an issue. So these are repeat things that they've got to fix heading into Week 11.
And they got to get them fixed, and he said that he has to. They have to come out faster. They have to start faster as a defensive unit and put themselves in better situations going into halftime because they know they're going to come out and they're going to play better in the second half. That's what they've done all year long.
All right, let's send it back to Lorenzo. He is still in the locker room.
For you guys?
It's frustrating. That happens in games. You're going to have some good and bad plays, but we just need to have a little bit more consistency. It can't be this, highs and lows, comparatively, as you mentioned, in this from first to second half. Just have to have more consistent football. And I don't know what it is. Obviously, we need to address it and fix it, but I don't know how you go about doing it because it's not like guys don't know how to do it because obviously we've shown from half to half that, we can execute. So something has to do as far as just starting faster and getting things rolling out of the ball.
Have you ever been a part of a goal line stand like that, 8 plays from the 2-yard line?
I don't think so. I've been a part of some goal line stands where you stop them, but to be able to do that many times, obviously that was our opportunity where we took the momentum back, after they went down and scored on us, and then that being able to stop them down there was huge for us and really put the game back in our hands, I think, from that time defensively. But no, it was awesome to be a part of it. Obviously, in a loss, it really doesn't matter, but it was great just the way the guys fought down there, that you're going to have to earn every single yard every time you face us.
Lorenzo, the takeaways for this defense, do you feel like that's kind of the last thing that's missing? They just haven't been there.
Yeah, we had opportunities. It just comes down to execution. When you have your chance to get your hands on some balls or, get a fumble out and pick it up. We had one on special teams today where we muffed it. We had a chance. A couple of interceptions that we dropped. So you got to be able to execute. That's the difference in, taking points off the board, obviously maybe scoring on defense or putting our offense in a great field position situation.
Thanks, Lorenzo.
Added to it, they have a pretty wide array of offensive options. Here's Kareem Hunt. It's like a whole new for them.
Yeah, some of that 21 fast and 20 fast stuff, we knew they would go to it, didn't know how much of it. So it's things that we've seen and obviously had to adjust on the run as far as how much that we saw and how much and how we had to adjust to it as far as base and nickel. But I thought guys did a good job for the most part. Obviously, they had some plays out of it that we just hadn't seen before, but overall, I thought we did a good job of handling that new dimension to their game.
Thank you.
The Bills are in Miami next week, so it's 2 straight road games for the Bills. What is your advice mindset-wise? There's a decent amount of veterans in this locker room, so I'm not too worried about that. But what would your advice be for this team?
Just to learn from it. Even in a loss, especially in a loss, you can learn a lot of things. And I think that's exactly what these guys will do. They'll go in look at what it is that you can improve on, you know, and it seems like a broken record to say that, but I mean, that's exactly what it's about. You know, you have to be able to fix those things if you want to get better as a unit, and I feel like that's exactly what those guys are doing.
Well, they'll be looking to go 7-3 after next week's game. Hey, for more highlights, more breakdown of this game, more locker room sound, make sure you tune into MSG at 11:30 for Bills Tonight. For Fred Jackson, I'm Maddie Glab. Thanks for joining us.